Xiao Zhan immediately pretended to be cheerful. "I Fan, nice to meet you, but how did you know me?" "Ah, of course, you must know. I heard that you won a lot of spiritual stones at Titan Sing Peak and even defeated opponents of higher levels in battles. Truly impressive." "Oh, brother Yi Fan, you praise me too much. It's not worth mentioning, not worth mentioning." Yi Fan was slightly surprised by Xiao Zhan's open and humble personality, but secretly thought, Senior Xiao Zhan has a gentle nature, very suitable as a friend. Xiao Zhan also thought the same, smiling warmly and thinking to himself, this brother Yi Fan has a straightforward personality, suitable as a friend. The type to be lucky. Suddenly, a stone tablet appeared with a notification. Young Xia Peak, direct disciple, Xiao Zhan, cultivated at the 9th layer of Luan Hai, about to begin the first level trial. After receiving the notification, Xiao Zhan immediately turned to bow respectfully to Yi Fan. "Brother Yi Fan, it's my turn for the trial. Perhaps we will meet again. Senior Xiao Zhan, I will definitely wish you success in passing the trial." After bidding farewell to Yi Fan, Xiao Zhan walked alone up the stone steps towards the divine tower Tai Su. The large door automatically opened for Xiao Zhan to enter, then closed behind him. This is the first floor of the divine tower Tai Su. The space here is as dark as ink. As Xiao Zhan walked a short distance, he saw many pairs of red-striped eyes staring at him. In front of him appeared a pack of fierce wolves with sharp teeth, ready to pounce and bite Xiao Zhan to satisfy their hunger. Xiao Zhan remained emotionless, calmly drew his blue blood sword, and said with a hint of disappointment, "Oh, just a few guests coming to welcome me, huh?" The wild wolves then fiercely attacked Xiao Zhan. Xiao Zhan immediately acted, moving swiftly like the wind as his blue blood sword cut through the wolves, beheading them one by one. With a confident smile, Xiao Zhan thought to himself, just a group of Lunheim boundary beasts. 3 days later, Xiao Zhan had reached the 67th floor of the divine tower Tai Su. There he encountered a seductive woman flying around him, tempting him to indulge in her beauty and pleasure before failing to leave. Stay with me, to experience euphoria tilled. Xiao Zhang's emotionless face said nothing, decisively slashed a sword cutting off the head of the beauty. Xiao Zhan coldly said, "If you want to seduce me, you're still too young. If you were a respected master, I would reconsider." Xiao Zhan then continued to climb to the 68th floor of the divine tower Tai Su. There, Xiao Zhan met 4 people, an old man with silver hair holding a sword hidden behind his back, a middle-aged, bald, muscular man carrying a large warhammer, a petite and beautiful woman holding a sharp, long bow, and a skinny young man with a pair of short swords. Xiao Zhan excitedly looked at the 4 people. "Oh, all 4 of you are Peak of Luan Hai? Interesting, speak up." Chu, the demonic, immediately rushed towards the 4 people. Xiao Zhan swiftly used a technique to defeat all 4 Peak of Luan Hai. Swish, swish, swish. 2 days later, Xiao Zhan successfully reached the 98th floor of the Tai Su Divine Tower, where there was a sea of red flowers like blood, the horizon carrying a bloody twilight. Even the moon was red as blood. The scene was incredibly desolate, and from a distance, a woman holding an icy field sword was waiting for Xiao Zhan. Her realm is the same as mine, at the peak of the 9th layer of Sea of Consciousness. Xiao Zhan was quite surprised as the illusion of Tai Suzi appeared, thinking to himself, our realms are similar, only Lun Hai boundary peak of the 9th layer, but the actual power makes it impossible for one to see through. Could it be? Xiao Zhan then chuckled and said provocatively, "You must not be Emperor Tai Su." These words made the woman's emotions slightly shaken. Xiao Zhan then smiled excitedly and said, "It's really a primordial emperor. Ha 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 ha. Emperor, let's battle." As he spoke, Chu, the demonic, wielded the blue blood sword fiercely to attack Emperor Tai Su. But this sword of Xiao Zhan was effortlessly blocked by Emperor Tai Su, the sword in hand. The spiritual energy from the collision scattered the blossoms in the sky. Die. Xiao Zhan continued to kick towards Emperor Tai Su's head, but was also effortlessly blocked by Emperor Tai Su's left hand. Then Emperor Tai Su waved that arm lightly and sent Xiao Zhan flying away. Xiao Zhan at this moment is extremely shocked. How can this be possible? With the power of my original soul can still be knocked away by Tai Suzi of the same level. Even the Emperor has no scientific explanation. In response, Tai Suzi immediately acts, launching herself towards Xiao Zhan. Both exchange skills, spiritual energy erupting and dispersing the surrounding darkness. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan is under tremendous pressure, sweat dripping down his forehead, looking at Tai Suzi with widened eyes, silently thinking, Emperor Tai Su was also this powerful when young. Tai Suzi continues her movements, casually using her left hand to strike directly at Xiao Zhan's left chest. Xiao Zhan's eyes gleamed, the blood-stained sword seal appearing on his forehead. excited after going through 97 layers. No level has required him to use full force like now. Come, eye for an eye, life for a life. It's either you die or I die. That's how I fight. With a swift strike, Tai Suzi concentrates her energy into her fist, hitting deep into Xiao Zhan's chest, causing blood to spurt out. Xiao Zhan grabs Tai Suzi by the neck, causing her to faint from being burned to death by him. Xiao Zhan is currently very surprised and quietly curses. Shit, are you using hacks? I use sword intent, but your body can still withstand it. Xiao Zhan threw Tai Suzi with one hand into the sea of flowers, reaching floor 98. Xiao Zhan was then teleported to floor 99 of the Divine Tower, where the space was distorted and blurry. In front of him stood a young man with 4 stone tablets. Xiao Zhan was now rubbing his temples, trying to remember what had happened on floor 98, but he couldn't recall any details. Everything became foggy. Who was I just fighting with? Why can't I remember? Forget it, now is not the time to think about that. Xiao Zhan then walked towards the 4 stone tablets, each shining with a different image, a sword, a knife, a shield, and a fist as symbols. Xiao Zhan scratched his head thinking, they told me to choose one. After a moment of thought, he approached one of the stone tablets and placed his right hand on it, causing it to light up. The other 3 immediately disappeared, and the system displayed a message. Please study the swordsmanship techniques within half a day. The more you learn, the higher your score. The better you learn, the higher your score. Xiao Zhan is currently sitting down to focus on mastering the heavy sword technique from the stone tablet. Below Xiao Zhan is a vast dark ocean, with incredibly fierce waves that could easily crush one's soul in an instant. Xiao Zhan is amazed by this scene, quietly thinking to himself, every drop of water represents a swordsmanship technique. How many swordsmanship techniques are there in this place? Xiao Zhan commands the system, consume breakthrough point to study swordsmanship techniques. The system displays a message, activating consume mode. Host achieve mastery in 5 techniques. Host achieve mastery in 35 techniques. Host achieve mastery in 100 techniques. Host achieve mastery in 1,000 techniques. Everything rests, first form, everything dies, accomplished. Xiao Zhan thinks to himself, in this lifetime, I am different, with the breakthrough ability of the system, as well as the primordial sacred constitution and heaven-killing sword intent. I must make use of these advantages to unleash the full potential of primordial sacred constitution, which is invincible in flesh, and the razor-sharp, heaven-killing sword intent. How can I develop the most powerful attack method? Suddenly, Xiao Zhan opened his eyes wide, thinking to himself, Heavy Blade! Only the Heavy Blade can fully unleash the advantages of the primordial sacred constitution and heaven-killing sword intent, thanks to mastering over 1,000 sets of heavy sword before. Xiao Zhan began to create his own unique heavy sword technique. Raising his right hand with a focused mind, immediately, in front of Xiao Zhan appeared a giant purple heavy blade, the sword handle 3 feet long, 1 meter wide, weighing at least 1,000 pounds. Holding the heavy blade in his hand, Xiao Zhan couldn't help but exclaim, this sword is too heavy. Immediately after, Xiao Zhan swung with all his force towards the dark ocean below. Boom! The dark ocean's huge waves were cut in half, the water splashing and creating a deep hole of unknown depth below. The system then displayed a message. Everything rests first form, everything dies accomplished. Xiao Zhan laughed happily. Ha ha, ha ha. I am Xiao Zhan, everything rests. I also feel that I have transformed. Who can avoid such a terror attack like this? Ha ha. It's worth spending 1,000 breakthrough points. System quickly checked the level of everything rests. The system suddenly displayed a classification announcement. Swordsmanship techniques, divine grade, first sword skill, annihilation of all things, 5-star destructive force, 5-star attack speed. Introducing this as an unparalleled strike, instantly unleashing the power of primordial sacred constitution and heaven-killing sword intent. Rapidly approaching the enemy and releasing this destructive slash. Outside Tai Su Square, at the foot of Tai Su Divine Tower, Chu Xiao Zhan's face was filled with concern as she kept staring inside the Divine Tower Tai Su. Standing beside her was a young man, the grandson of Shai Meng Yi, named Shai Meng. Shai Meng, with a solemn expression, said to Chu Xiao Zhan, Sister Chu, do you really think that Xiao Zhan could reach the 80th floor to obtain the Emperor's silver stand to help our mother detoxify? If you follow me, I can ask Fairy Maiden Meng Yi for some medicinal materials to cure our mother. It's been almost 10 days and Xiao Zhan still hasn't come out. I'm afraid he might have lost his life inside the Divine Tower. Whenever the Divine Tower Tai Su starts, there will always be casualties, and Xiao Zhan is likely no exception, despite his cultivation being only at the Luan High 4 layer. Sister Chu, don't hope anymore. Just return the result. No explanation needed, nothing else. Shai Mei intended to put his hand on Chu Xiao Ni's shoulder, but she pushed him away. Chu Xiao Ni frowned in anger. Don't touch me. Stay away from me. I don't want to hear you talk nonsense. Chu Xiao Ni continued to gaze inside the divine tower Tai Su, thinking to herself, Brother Xiao Zhan will definitely be fine. At that moment, the bell at the top of divine tower Tai Su rang, causing the whole school to buzz with excitement. Someone entered the top 10. Shortly after, on the stone tablet appeared Yun He Feng, direct disciple. Xiao Zhan reached the 99th floor, currently at the Sea of Consciousness realm, breaking the limit of Luan Hai's stone tablet, displaying extraordinary perception, willpower, mentality, combat power. Xiao Zhan's Luan Hai score ranks first. On the 99th floor, the entire school fell silent immediately. They could not believe what their eyes were seeing was true. Shai Meng stood frozen in place, his face showing fear, while Chu Xiao Zhan stood beside him, looking overjoyed. This proved she had placed her trust in the right person, and her mother would be saved. Here, Xiao Zhan smiled as he stepped out of the divine tower Tai Su. Seeing him, Chu Xiao Zhan ran up to him with joy. Brother Xiao Zhan, you finally returned safely. Xiao Zhan replied, Sorry for making you wait so long. The displaced crowd changed their attitude when they saw Xiao Zhan. No longer did they show their usual disdain. Everyone was happy to come and make friends with Xiao Zhan. Brother Xiao Zhan, you are truly amazing. Can you autograph for me? Xiao Zhan turned back with a friendly smile, his eyes showing a hint of sarcasm. I disdain. Remember back then, when these displaced saw me as Chu the Demonic, they hated and despised me, only calling out, Chu the Demonic, go die. I never would have thought that today you would call me brother, ha ha. Truly a more important choice than effort. Thinking to himself, Xiao Zhan sighed, a gentle smile appearing on his lips. Choosing to be a hidden villain in this life was indeed a wise decision. Being a simple and brutal antagonist in the past, I was still too young to play the villain. It has to be like this to be right. Looking straight on the outside, but secretly doing evil deeds in the heart. Old Huang and Mo Fa Yan appeared behind Xiao Zhan. Old Huang spoke up, Xiao Zhan, you are very outstanding, very good. Mo Fa Yan also added, Xiao Zhan, the Holy Master wants to see you. Come with us quickly. Shortly after, Xiao Zhan was brought to the Tai Su Hall. Besides Tai Suzi, there was Shai Meng Yi sitting next to him. Xiao Zhan respectfully clasped his hands. His place Yun He Feng. Xiao Zhan pays respect to respected master, pays respect to the Holy Master above. Shai Meng Yi saw Xiao Zhan and immediately turned his head away. Tai Suzi sat at the top joyfully exclaimed, Xiao Zhan, meeting the disciple who breaks the limits of the ancients today, I am very pleased. Xiao Zhan, your performance today is not bad. Xiao Zhan was pushed forward. Who? Holy Master, you see, whether good or bad, I also break the records of our holy ground. Are there any rewards? Chu, the demonic, chuckled to himself. If you don't know how to take advantage now, when will you wait, Keek? Upon hearing this, Shai Meng Yi stood up in anger and pointed at Xiao Zhan, scolding loudly, Villainous disciple, you are not courteous. Tai Suzi immediately interrupted, Immortal Meng Yi, it's okay, I also want to know what your disciple wants as a reward. Xiao Zhan, shamelessly revealing his greed, replied, Disciple wants infant demon soul fruit, divine nectar of all cures, godly boggy flower, any of them will do. Shai Meng Yi clenched his teeth in anger, silently cursing, Villainous disciple, you have an insatiable appetite. Tai Suzi furrowed her brow in contemplation for a moment before speaking. The items you desire are truly rare in this place, the holy ground. I have some, but not what you want. I can order someone to search for them, but I can't guarantee when they will be found. Xiao Zhan responded, This disciple is willing to wait. At this moment, Chu, the demonic, smirked wickedly in his heart. This Tai Suzi is easy to talk to. I can use the Heavenly Weeping Mother and Sun Samsara seal to control this holy master. The system then displayed a message. Damn, the host's thoughts are really twisted. Hey. Xiao Zhan immediately activated the Heavenly Weeping Mother and Sun Samsara seal, releasing a strange energy that flew straight towards where Tai Suzi was sitting, gently enveloping her body without her knowing. The system immediately popped up a notification. Heavenly Weeping Mother and Sun Samsara seal has successfully infiltrated Tai Suzi without the target noticing, with no remaining uses left. Host of Sun Seal, Tai Suzi, host of the Sun Seal. Shai Meng Yi, hosts can retrieve the seal at any time. Upon retrieval, the number of uses will increase. It can only be used on a maximum of 2 people at a time. After reading the system message, Xiao Zhan was amazed. The Mother and Sun seal can be used with 2 people at the same time. Now I know. Xiao Zhan couldn't help but feel happy in his heart. At this moment, he thought about freely playing with Shai Meng Yi and Tai Suzi while cultivating. The system displayed another notification. Hey, the host is indeed a rebellious fate, daring to dream of cultivating with Tai Su Holy Master Immortal Meng Yi, daring to cause mischief with a sinister mind, triggering the reward Core Warping Squid. The system introduced Core Warping Squid as a type of divine-grade mystical item, an antique item for refining pills divided into 3 types, where the middle type is the squid, meant for refining poison. It searches through thousands of poison formulas and refines them to the highest level, capable of producing poisons that can kill someone at the empirical level. When the 3 types are combined, it becomes the Millennium Pill Refining Equipment, able to create the highest level pills that a pill refining emperor can make. Xiao Zhan smiled lightly and thought to himself, this reward is truly deserving. Can a villain who cannot use poison be called a villain? Hey. As he thought so, Xiao Zhan understood that Tai Suzi and Shai Meng Yi were very different. Tai Suzi was the Saint King of the Tai Su realm, a powerful and supreme ruler. He couldn't freely threaten or intimidate others, because if he did, she would definitely self-destruct. Therefore, Xiao Zhan only sent the Heavenly Weeping Mother and Sun Samsara seal to Tai Suzi as a backup plan, and only used it when necessary. Tai Suzi remarked, the 8 Trigram treasure can enhance biological energy to the maximum. I hope you will know how to make use of it. Xiao Zhan humbly bowed and replied, yes. After that, the 2 disciples bid farewell to the Holy Master and left the room. Tai Su sat high above, watching them leave, furrowing her brows slightly and feeling a bit confused and fearful. She thought, I'm not sure where this sense of unease is coming from. Is someone plotting against me? Perhaps it's because I've been practicing in isolation for too long, creating illusions. Maybe I should take a stroll to relax. Night fell, and in the sky there was a large flying boat carrying a light building floating gently in the air. Inside the living room, Xiao Zhan and Shai Meng Yi were sitting across from each other at the tea table, with 2 female Yun Xia peak disciples serving tea. They occasionally sneaked glances at Xiao Zhan, their faces turning red. Xiao Zhan suddenly spoke up, Juniors, please go outside. I have something to discuss with Master. Upon hearing this, Shai Meng Yi panicked and quickly said no, making the female disciples look suspiciously at her peak owner. Realizing she had gone too far, Shai Meng Yi cleared her throat, regained her composure, and said, it's okay, you all can go outside. As the door closed, Chu The Demonic immediately raised his hand to start casting a sound insulation spell, enveloping the entire room. He then propped his chin on his hand and looked at Immortal Meng Yi Xiao Zhan with a wicked smile. Master, now there are only the 2 of us here. Don't let this beautiful scene pass by. Shai Meng Yi removed the bronze fox mask, his face slightly reproachful, and scolded, Villainous disciple, do you want to oppress me again? Do you really see me as a tool, respected master, in your eyes? Am I really such a hungry villainous disciple? Shai Meng Yi replied in a daze, no. Xiao Zhan stood up and walked to Shai Meng Yi, taking the bronze fox mask in his hand, a hint of affection in his eyes. Master, you want to restore your cultivation? Upon hearing this, Shai Meng Yi's heart suddenly shook, clenching his left hand tightly, of course. Sitting down beside Shai Meng Yi, Xiao Zhan looked at the bronze fox mask in his hand. This is very good. It can completely conceal your cultivation. Even a saint lord like Tai Suzi would not be able to detect that you have lost your cultivation, master. Shai Meng Yi turned his head, moved away a bit in anger, and said, your villainous disciple's tricks are not bad either. She blushed impulsively and said, after cultivating with you like that, your body must have had the peculiar trace of a heavenly aura, but you have hidden it very well. Even the Holy Master cannot recognize this. She closed her eyes and thought back. Today, the Holy Master wanted to meet Xiao Zhan, which made Shai Meng Yi scared. Luckily, this villainous disciple knew how to hide it. Otherwise, our secret could have been exposed. Suddenly, Shai Meng Yi glanced at Xiao Zhan. With red lips tightly sealed, hesitantly spoke. You said earlier that you would help me restore my cultivation. What are the conditions? I know you're not that kind. Xiao Zhan smirked slyly in response. Master, you really do understand your disciple. Without another word, Xiao Zhan took out a wooden box. Inside it was something shiny black and handed it to Shai Meng Yi. Master, put this on. Holding the tights in her hands, Shai Meng Yi asked curiously, what is this? Xiao Zhan chuckled, his face showing anticipation. Just put it on, you'll get a reward. In order to regain her cultivation, Shai Meng Yi reluctantly followed Xiao Zhan's instructions and put on the tights he gave her. Looking at what she was wearing, Shai Meng Yi couldn't help but blush. Suddenly, Chu The Demonic reached out and touched her thigh, causing her to scream in surprise. Villainous disciple, what are you doing? With one hand on her thigh and the other around her waist, Chu, the demonic, whispered, "Master." Looking at her blushing face, Chu the demonic smirked mischievously, "Still calling me villainous disciple." Leaning close to Shai Meng Yi's face, Chu, the demonic, whispered softly, "Call me honey." Upon hearing this, Shai Meng Yi immediately turned around with a determined voice and scolded, "Humph, villainous disciple, dream on. Even if I die, I won't call for help." Xiao Zhan replied, "You're still being rather stubborn." 10 minutes later, Xiao Zhan did something to Shai Meng Yi, causing her body to twist and turn. Her cheeks flushed, and she kept saying, don't call, villainous disciple. Don't even think about it. This master is a high saint warrior. I can endure your tricks." Hearing this, Xiao Zhan became even more forceful. "My good master, if you don't call out, I'll make sure all the disciples on the boat hear you." Breathing heavily, Shai Meng Yi clenched her teeth and scolded, "Villainous disciple, you're crossing the line." Finally, with a weak gaze, she reluctantly called out to Chu the demonic, "Honey." After calling out, she angrily shouted, "You villainous disciple, I will kill you sooner or later with my own hands." Xiao Zhan continued to train Shai Meng Yi in cardio all night, with sobs and calls of honey. This morning just returned, the youth was thinking, Emperor Silver Sand is handed over to Chu Xiao Ni. The matter at Divine Tower Tai Su has also ended. The information provided by Chu Xiao Ni is quite detailed. The infant demon soul fruit is indeed in the wild. Going to the wild is necessary. I need to strengthen my cultivation. Walking leisurely on the road, Xiao Zhan inadvertently heard two junior brothers talking to each other. "Have you heard the heavenly list has just been updated?" Certainly, Chu the demonic has been dead for a while. Someone must stand up to take his place. Records the major and minor events in the Tian Qiong Continent and mainly ranks the strongest people. On the side, it has a gossip corner. One issue is worth one middle grade stone. Glancing at the two junior brothers chatting, Xiao Zhan smirked silently. "Ha, not even in your dreams do you think that Chu the demonic in your mouths is not only not dead, but also living well, even on the same side as you." At this point, the two junior brothers were startled and exclaimed, "Hey, someone else is fourth in the low saint stage ranking. It used to be the saint Jiang Xian Ling who was guided by the yin-yang god. It's Liu Hong Yi now." "What?" "Jiang Xian Ling is my goddess, who is Liu Hong Yi." Xiao Zhan, upon hearing the name Liu Hong Yi, had a slight change in expression and thought to himself, "Liu Hong Yi, it's her." Xiao Zhan immediately approached the two junior brothers with a smile and said, "Good morning, two junior brothers. Can you sell me the new issue of Revelation of the Heavenly Secret?" The two junior brothers happily handed the newspaper to Xiao Zhan and said, "No need to buy. If brother Xiao Zhan needs it, you can just take it directly. We are all fellow disciples. Please don't be polite. Thank you to the two junior brothers." Xiao Zhan took the newspaper and calmly walked away. Once Xiao Zhan was far enough, the two young men spoke up. "You've heard the news, haven't you? Senior brother Xiao Zhan has entered the heavenly list. He's not to be messed with now." "Yeah, of course I've heard. I wonder when he became so powerful." Over here, Xiao Zhan is focusing on reading the content on Revelation of the Heavenly Secret. The major event of Tian Qiong Continent, demonic Chu, who originally topped the holy list, has passed away, and Feng Yaoguang, the son of the holy from Yaoguang's sacred land, has taken the top position. Jiang Xian Ling, initially ranked fourth on the holy list, has been replaced by Liu Hong Yi, a former holy woman from the Red Sword sect. The latest battlefield report from the Great Wall of Tian Yuan shows that demons and barbarians have invaded human territories on a large scale in the past 6 months. After finishing the first page, Xiao Zhan thought to himself, Liu Hong Yi has moved up to the 4th place on the ranking. Then suddenly Xiao Zhan widened his eyes in astonishment when reading the content of the 2nd page of Revelation of the Heavenly Secret. Wanted information: Holy Woman Liu Hong Yi, assassin of the Red Sword sect, traitor of the Red Sword sect, a bounty of 1 million soul stones placed on Liu Hong Yi, based on evidence from the former sect leader of the Red Sword sect. Liu Hong Yi assassinated the elder for the purpose of avenging demonic Chu. The Red Sword sect issued this warning for those who have besieged and killed demonic Chu. Be cautious of this woman and do not underestimate her. In Chu, the demonic's mind at this moment appears the image of a young girl wearing a red outfit. With a graceful face and long hair tied up high, she is Liu Hong Yi. Xiao Zhan couldn't help but smile and mutter, Liu Hong Yi, silly girl. Remembering the past, Chu the Demonic and Liu Hong Yi had a period of acquaintance. I am Liu Hong Yi. As you can see, my family is all dead. I am Xiao Zhan. My family is also on the other side. I couldn't see them. Can you help me bury my family? From now on, we will be family. Can we? Yes, that's what I said. From now on, we are family. Back to the present, Xiao Zhan immediately used 1,000 Li telepathy. Junior sister Tao Yao, I have a favor to ask. Can you help me find someone? Just return the result, no explanation needed, nothing else. Xiao Zhan stood alone under the willow tree outside the cave, looking up at the bright moonlit sky, his eyes reflecting the moonlight in a particularly quiet and desolate manner. Not knowing how long had passed, a soft voice sounded, "Senior brother." Xiao Zhan turned around and smiled. "Junior sister, you're here. Senior brother is here alone watching the moon. Do you have something on your mind?" "It's nothing. I just miss home a little." Speaking of which, senior brother has been at Yun He Feng Mountain for over 30 years. When the Mortal Kingdom's Kaishen County was invaded by the demons, the master went to defeat them and brought senior brother here. Time flies. Back then, I was only 3 years old. Yeah, I survived in the hands of the demons. Extend your hand to grasp Xiao Zhan's hands. Tao Yao smiled and said, "As the saying goes, those who survive calamity will have good luck in the future. Senior brother, your luck lies ahead. Kaishen County is your hometown. The sacred land is also your home. Master and I are also your family. Remember, you can come find me anytime when you miss home." Xiao Zhan nodded, smiling, and lightly patted Tao Yao's shoulders, saying, "Yes, everyone here is family to me." This action made Tao Yao blush in surprise. Xiao Zhan secretly thought, 30 years ago, Xiao Zhan the trash didn't survive by luck. It was I, Demon Chu, who planned everything. Of course, meeting Shaiman Yi was also arranged by me to infiltrate Tai Su Holy Ground Keek. Tao Yao blushed at this moment, slightly lowering her head and thinking to herself while stroking her chin. During this time, I have always felt that senior brother has become different recently. He used to avoid me, but now he is becoming close to me. After thinking it over, Tao Yao raised his 2 legs and kissed Xiao Zhan on the cheek, causing the young man to freeze. Then Tao Yao slipped a letter into Xiao Zhan's chest, whispering, "Senior brother, this is the information you need. Go to bed early, senior brother. Go back to practice here." With that, Tao Yao also blushed and quickly turned away. At this moment, Xiao Zhan was still standing frozen, his cheeks red as he watched Tao Yao's figure walk away. The young man thought to himself, "What just happened? Suddenly I was kissed. Stay calm, stay calm." Regaining his composure, Chu, the demonic, opened the letter to read. 3 days ago, Lu Hongyi appeared in Chang'an City in the Eastern Continent. Xiao Zhan sighed and thought to himself, Chang'an City, this is going to be a bit difficult. Eastern Continent, Great Tang Empire, Chang'an City, currently a devastated place with smoke and fire everywhere, looking desolate and tragic. In a certain palace, there was an old man with white hair and beard. He was crawling on the ground, his face full of anger as he looked up into the sky and exclaimed angrily, "Liu Hongyi, do you want to be like Chu the Demonic, treating everyone as enemies, seeing other forces as foes? This bald-headed old man is a renowned figure, elder of the Ko family, also one of those involved in the hunt for Chu the Demonic at the beginning of the story. Floating in the air is Liu Hongyi, the former holy daughter of the Red Dust Sword sect. She wears a flowing red dress, the wind blowing through her hair as she holds a green sword in her right hand. She covers her eyes with a white cloth, but it does nothing to diminish her beauty. Below, Elder Ko continues to shout, "The Ko family will not spare you, will surely chop you into 100,000 pieces." Facing the threat, Liu Hongyi remains silent. With a swift motion, she swings her green sword, releasing a fierce attack that shakes the earth. The surrounding spiritual energy erupts and strikes Elder Ko of the Ko family, silencing his screams as he falls to the ground dead, blood pouring out. Liu Hongyi descends to the ground coolly. Suddenly, a dark figure appears behind her, exuding a deadly black spiritual energy. The masked assassin speaks, "Where do you want to go?" Liu Hongyi coldly replies, "To kill." The masked assassin smiles. "Do you truly want to become the enemy of the world for him?" Her long hair fluttered in the wind. She slightly bowed her head, her voice barely audible. "He will not die even if he is the enemy of the world. So I will become the enemy of the world as well. If he were Buddha, I would overcome all the struggles for him. If he were demon, I would slaughter the world for him." This is truly the demeanor of a female Grand Devil Master. Over here, under the willow tree outside the house, Xiao Zhan is sitting, studying the secrets within the 8 trigrams treasure and the Sing character secret. Xiao Zhan thought to himself, the rewards of the Tai Su Divine Tower have not yet been cultivated. It is quiet here with no one around to disturb or observe. The Sing character secret technique shines brightly and many ancient characters fly out from behind Xiao Zhan, entering his brain. The system shows a notification. 9 character truth, Sing character secret, 9 character truth. Also known as the 9 secrets, is the most powerful secret law of heaven and earth. By mastering the 9 secrets, one can become invincible. Sing character secret is the fastest technique in the world, capable of breaking through large formations without restriction when cultivated to the extreme. However, it is difficult to comprehend and requires strong talent and understanding. 3 days later, Xiao Zhan sighed with a hint of anger, then stood up and stretched before saying, "Understanding the Sing character secret is truly difficult. It has been 3 days, and I have only grasped a little bit." At that moment, a figure appeared behind Xiao Zhan. A cold-voiced young man asked, "Who are you?" In front of Xiao Zhan stood a woman in a green dress holding a purple fan in her hand. Her appearance was slightly inferior to Master, but very enchanting. She smiled at Xiao Zhan and replied, "I am Huo Lu Fai from Dalian Peak, and you must be Xiao Zhan." Surprisingly, Xiao Zhan noticed the mark of the Heavenly Weeping Mother and Sun Samsara seal on Huo Lu Fai's chest. This made him extremely surprised as he thought, "Strange, why does this woman have the mark of the Heavenly Weeping Mother and Sun Samsara seal in her body? Could it be that she is Tai Suzi in a different body coming to meet me? How interesting." Xiao Zhan immediately clasped his hands and bowed. Xiao Zhan greets Elder Hoa. "May I know why you're here?" Huo Lu Fei smiled gently and replied, "I came to Yun He Peak for some matters. After finishing everything, I wanted to look around. Coincidentally, I met you cultivating here, so I dared to disturb you." While speaking, Huo Lu Fei walked calmly to a rock not far from Xiao Zhan and sat down. "Are you cultivating so hard because you plan to go to the demonic wasteland?" Xiao Zhan did not hide either. The young man knew that with this person's identity, there was nothing that could be concealed if one wanted to know. Xiao Zhan replied, "Yes, the demonic wasteland holds many opportunities, but the environment is very dangerous. If one wants to grasp those opportunities, one must cultivate diligently." After finishing speaking, Chu, the demonic, glanced at Tai Suzi's body in Huo Lu Fai's body. His eyes focused on the two large round balls, which were half again the size of the master's treasure, causing Xiao Zhan to immediately nosebleed internally. After chatting for a while, Xiao Zhan hesitated and spoke up. "Elder Hoa, I have a curious question. May I ask for your guidance?" Tai Suzi was a bit surprised, but still looked calmly at Xiao Zhan and replied, "Sure, let's hear it." "Elder Hoa, before the era of Emperor Lu, there would only be one human great emperor or demon emperor in an era every 100,000 years. The human race and the demon race have been fighting each other from the desolate ancient era to Emperor Lu's era. But why did the human race completely exterminate the demons when their great emperor appeared? Why didn't the demons completely exterminate the humans when their great emperor appeared?" Xiao Zhan thought to himself, "This is an issue I have always found puzzling since arriving on the Tian Qiong Continent. Meeting Tai Suzi today, perhaps she will know the secret in this matter." Tai Suzi held the fan in her hand, gently stroked her chin, and thought for a moment, then replied, "There seems to be some kind of tacit understanding between the human great emperor and the demon great emperor. Even if a great emperor is born on one side, they can suppress but cannot use their power as the emperor to destroy the other party. Why this is, no one knows. It is said that when you become a great emperor, you will gain secrets about the stars and the Tian Qiong Continent." Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan exclaimed in surprise, "There exists something more powerful than an emperor in this world." Tai Suzi unconsciously looked up at the distant sky full of stars. No one knows whether there is a higher existence than the great emperor. From before the desolate ancient era to the desolate ancient era, primordial era, and to the Emperor Lao era now, 17 great emperors have appeared so far. But in the end, they disappeared and their traces were never found again in the world. Those who can become great emperors are undoubtedly exceptional talents, so why did they take that step? Is the road ahead broken, or is there no future to go? This is something we have to consider deeply. I didn't expect to be discussing the cultivation of a great emperor. It's too ambitious. As Tai Suzi was speaking, he stood up and dusted himself off, seeing Huo Lu Fei standing up. Xiao Zhan immediately asked, "Sister Hoa, are you ready to return?" Tai Suzi was a little surprised when Xiao Zhan called her sister, but she didn't object and just smiled gently, responding, "Okay, I'll go back. You stay and practice diligently." Xiao Zhan scratched his head, pretending to hesitate, and asked, "Sister Hoa, will we have the chance to meet again after you come out from the elusive demonic wasteland?" Xiao Zhan laughed and waved his hand, saying, "All right, I'll wait for you here after I come back." Tai Suzi also smiled sweetly and replied, "Okay." The system displayed a message, "Keek, host really has the charm. How evil." Xiao Zhan then returned to the Shimeng Yi cave, saying as he left, "Cultivating Sing character secret is too costly and exhausting. It's better to find a master to obtain some cultivation resources." As Xiao Zhan approached the entrance of the cave, he heard a conversation from inside. "Fairy maiden, you must help me, or else it will be too late. You are Xiao Zhan's master. Just ask for Emperor Silver Sand, and he will surely hand it over to you. Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan immediately exclaimed. Inside the hall, Shai Meng Yi in a pure white dress sat on a lotus throne, her beautiful eyes filled with reluctance as she spoke. Although I am Xiao Zhan's master, I cannot simply ask for things from others without reason. Peeking through the door from outside, Xiao Zhan saw Shai Meng pondering, is this my master's descendant? Always clinging to junior sister Xiao Ran, thinking he is so powerful. But he seems useless if my descendant desires Emperor Silver Sand. It's better to deceive him. With that thought, Xiao Zhan smirked with a wicked grin. Xiao Zhan calmly pushed the door open and walked in step by step. Shai Meng smiled and said, Shai Meng, do you want the Emperor's Silver Sand? Shai Meng turned his head and saw Xiao Zhan approaching. His face lit up with joy, and he quickly asked, Senior brother Xiao Zhan, have you still got the Emperor's Silver Sand in your hand? Xiao Zhan calmly replied, yes, I still have it. I have been in seclusion cultivating these days, so I haven't seen junior sister Xiao Ni. I was planning to find the right time to give it to her today. It's great. Can you hand it over to me? I can give it to her on your behalf. Xiao Zhan waved his hand, and a mysterious black stone appeared, shimmering with light. Looking at the Emperor's Silver Sand in Xiao Zhan's hand, he said, I had a hard time getting this from the endless sea of fire. Shai Meng saw the Emperor's Silver Sand in Xiao Zhan's hand, and his eyes immediately lit up. He thought to himself, if I buy this Emperor's Silver Sand, I will be the only one to own it. Then Chu Xiao Nai will come to me for help to save her mother. Will I finally win her heart? Shai Meng couldn't help but quickly grasp Xiao Zhan's hand. Senior brother Xiao Zhan, give me a price. Xiao Zhan smiled and replied, 1,000,000 high-tier spiritual stones. Shai Meng hurriedly agreed, okay, Xiao Zhan, you are indeed a good person. Thinking to himself, I thought he would borrow this matter to make a profit, but I didn't expect him to be so straightforward and smart. Haha, from now on, I will be the only one to own Emperor Silver Sand. Chu Xiao Nini, you wouldn't have expected this, right? I look forward to seeing you begging me to save your mother. Xiao Zhan happily patted Shai Meng's shoulder and said, you are my master's descendant, of course, you are also my relative. Shai Meng nodded happily, holding the Emperor's Silver Sand in his hand. Yes, a relative. Shai Meng was about to head towards Shai Meng Yi to report Fairy Maiden. Seeing another piece of Emperor's Silver Sand in Xiao Zhan's hand, Xiao Zhan chuckled gently. Shai Meng, I have a few more pieces of Emperor's Silver Sand. Do you need them? I'll sell them to you at the same price. Shai Meng frowned and replied, Brother Xiao Zhan, how much more do you have? Shai Meng thought to himself, I must seize all the Emperor's Silver Sand in Xiao Zhan's hands, or I won't be able to threaten Chu Xiao Ni. Xiao Zhan revealed a few more pieces of Emperor's Silver Sand in his hand and casually said, not much, just a little. Then, Xiao Zhan took out a pile of Emperor's Silver Sand from his storage ring and spread it out on the floor like a small mountain. Seeing the Emperor's Silver Sand spread out on the floor, Shai Meng widened his eyes in horror and exclaimed, this is just a little. Xiao Zhan calmly asked, decide whether to buy or not. If you're not buying, then I'll put it away. Shai Meng was furious but helpless. He turned to Shai Meng Yi and complained, Fairy Maiden, Xiao Zhan is deceiving me. Why are you stopping him? He's clearly playing tricks on me. Shai Meng Yi coldly replied, deal with it yourself. In a cold tone, she added, all right, Shai Meng, I've got the Emperor's Silver Sand. Let's go back now. Hearing Fairy Maiden say that, Shai Meng could only make a wry face. Even Fairy Maiden was not on his side, so what could he do about Xiao Zhan? Shai Meng wanted to say something more, but didn't dare to go against Fairy Maiden's words. In the end, he swallowed his anger and left in a huff. After Shai Meng had gone far away, Shai Meng Yi frowned and said in a refined voice, villainous disciple, why did you deceive him? Xiao Zhan, acting as if no one else was around, walked straight up to where respected master was sitting. As he walked, he said, what do you mean by deceive? It was a voluntary exchange, a fair deal. I didn't force him to do anything. Xiao Zhan casually sat down next to Shai Meng Yi, slipping his hand behind to squeeze her buttocks. The young man, with a mischievous look on his face, teased respected master. And another thing, what did you just call me? Being suddenly groped, Shai Meng Yi started and exclaimed, villainous disciple. At this moment, Chu, the demonic, took a small, flexible wooden stick from his storage ring, with a feather and a small bell attached to the end. Xiao Zhan waved the feather around, making the bell ring pleasantly. Xiao Zhan, looking thoroughly pleased, gazed at his beautiful respected master and said, why call me villainous disciple? Call me honey instead. Upon hearing this, Chu, the demonic, continued to use his whisk to glide from the waist to the plump and juicy pair of breasts of Shai Meng Yi. making her even more irritated. Seeing the rounded figure of respected master writhing in front of her, along with the distinctive fragrance of respected master, Xiao Zhan's desires surged, but he restrained himself and teased, It seems like respected master's figure has gotten fuller compared to half a month ago. It's respected master getting chubby. Let the symbol help you check your body a bit." Infuriated, Shai Meng Yi tried to grab an apple from the table and threw it with all her might towards Xiao Zhan, exclaiming, "Villainous disciple, go away. I'm not fat, your whole family is fat. Get out of here." Easily catching the apple, Xiao Zhan nonchalantly took a bite and taunted, "You're right, respected master. Did you finish what I asked you to do last time?" No longer playing along with Xiao Zhan's teasing, Shai Meng Yi immediately sat up and said, "Stay out of my bedroom. I'll go fetch it." In the bedroom of Shai Meng Yi, Xiao Zhan immediately used a sound insulator to seal off the room so that the young man would not continue to play tricks on Shai Meng Yi. "Respected master, what do you want?" Shai Meng Yi turned over the pillow on the bed. "Villainous disciple, what I want is here," he said. Shai Meng Yi also took out a wooden box. Inside the box were 3 orange-colored gems resembling 3 small eggs. Xiao Zhan's eyes lit up when he saw the 3 gems in the box. He took one out and gently pressed it. The gem immediately vibrated. Xiao Zhan happily exclaimed, "Truly the work of a skilled master, respected master." Praised by Xiao Zhan, Shai Meng Yi proudly replied, "The radiant stone from Wanshou Mountain can not only shine, but also emit heat." Xiao Zhan immediately showed a delighted expression and said, "Respected master, using this to massage the acupoints on the soles of the feet will surely be beneficial for your cultivation recovery." Realizing Xiao Zhan's evil intentions, Shai Meng Yi exclaimed in shock, "Villainous disciple, what are you planning to do?" Looking at the beautiful blushing face of respected master, Xiao Zhan smiled brightly. "Respected master, you are truly a brilliant woman, villainous disciple, so you want me to do this to bully me, don't you?" As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Zhan's villainous disciple immediately pushed respected master onto the bed, then smiled wickedly. "Respected master, how do you want me to bully you?" Realizing his mistake, Shai Meng Yi hesitantly turned his face away and replied, "I misspoke." Then Xiao Zhan's villainous disciple couldn't bear it anymore and immediately pressed down his beautiful respected master on the bed. A few moments later, the system displayed a notification. "Host Xiao Zhan, 9th layer Lunhai boundary. Possesses exceptional primordial sacred constitution, talent 1414, heavenly grade, 33 times the speed of cultivation of heaven killing sword intent cultivation technique, Tao scripture, foundation building volume, secrets techniques, walking character secret techniques, not proficient, dance scripture, volume of poison, sword techniques, all things cease immortal 11, 24 remaining clicks to expand, breakthrough point, 215 fortune value, 82 white, can absorb the fortune of a powerful individual upon killing them. Overall combat power evaluation, 35 times the combat power of an ordinary cultivator at the same realm." At this moment, Shai Meng Yi is still lying on the bed, sweating all over. She is still breathing heavily, all because Chu the Demonic still has the yellow gem somewhere on her body. Respected master, while adjusting her clothes, Xiao Zhan secretly smiled and thought to herself, "Indeed effective, respected master's heavenly fragrance has increased thanks to the stimulating mood. The magic tool is really effective." After a while, Shai Meng Yi finally calmed down on the bed. After seeing Xiao Zhan's villainous disciple leaving, Shai Meng Yi began to sit up. That damn villainous disciple finally left. Earlier, he was so arrogant that he removed the restrictions for himself, forgetting to seal the exit with the spell. Immediately, Shai Meng Yi started meditating on gathering energy. He indeed forgot the seal. The feeling of being able to cultivate is great. The feeling of being able to mobilize the power in the body is great. Being able to sense the spiritual energy of this world again, it's amazing. While gathering energy, Shai Meng Yi suddenly startled. She opened her eyes wide with a blush on her cheeks. While I was sealed in cultivation, I made progress. Could it be related to the villainous disciple?" Shai Meng Yi's eyes narrowed, a wicked smile appearing on her face step by step. "Villainous disciple, you wait for me." Just as she was rejoicing, Shai Meng Yi suddenly jolted in horror. "Hey, why am I sealed again?" At this moment, Chu, the demonic, used a sound transmission talisman to speak to Shai Meng Yi. "Respected master, please do not misunderstand. The disciple is just reminding you, no matter how far apart we are, I can still seal you at any time." Upon hearing this, Shai Meng Yi became extremely angry, her anger causing her body to tremble with waves of chills. She stood up and took out a straw figure Xiao Zhan from the drawer, gripping a sharp needle tightly and stabbing it into the straw figure. "Go die, die, villainous disciple, go die." As she was forcefully stabbing the needle into the straw figure, Xiao Zhan to vent her anger, Meng Yi suddenly felt something strange within her body. Why do I feel a strange movement in my stomach, within my body? Suddenly, a fluctuation of life appeared. 7 days later, after the Tai Su Divine Tower closed, the desolate beast's secret realm gradually became peaceful. Today, excitement returns as the demonic wasteland is preparing to be opened again. A large number of displaced are gathered below the Tai Su Peak, waiting for the teleportation gate to open. Xiao Zhan also stood in the crowd, looking up attentively. Tai Suzi was saying, just like in previous years, the time for the dungeon to open is 30 days. Within these 30 days, you must gather at the initial teleportation point. If not, you will be locked to the dungeon for several decades, waiting for it to open again. After leaving the dungeon, each person must offer a certain amount of the resources obtained, and Tai Su Peak will rank based on everyone's contribution. The top 10 contributors will receive corresponding rewards. Xiao Zhan felt bored hearing these words, yawning. Compared to these rewards, Xiao Zhan paid more attention to the good things from the demonic wasteland and the infant demon soul fruit. Tai Suzi's voice echoed again, "Wait a moment, you can only enter the dungeon after the teleportation gate opens." Xiao Zhan was standing with his arms crossed, waiting for the teleportation gate to open when he heard a call from behind, "Brother Xiao Zhan." Xiao Zhan turned around and saw a familiar face, immediately smiling and saying, "Brother Yi Fan, it's you. Yi Fan, you look handsome." He smiled back, "Brother Xiao Zhan also wants to enter the demonic wasteland." Xiao Zhan replied, "I think going on an adventure with a guy with the protagonist's fate. I have a feeling this journey won't be peaceful at all." Xiao Zhan asked Yi Fan, "What are you thinking? Brother Yi Fan, is there something wrong?" Yi Fan replied, "No, nothing, Brother Xiao Zhan. Let's go together." Yi Fan's master sound transmission to him, "Lai Fan, after entering this sub-level, find the opportunity to kill Xiao Zhan. Remember to be clean in your actions and don't get caught in your actions." Receiving the sound transmission, Yi Fan looked at Xiao Zhan and thought, "It's best to let him die in the mouth of a fierce beast, so that even if the Holy Master turns back time, he won't find out the result." Liu Xiu, master of Heavenly Sword Peak, sat on a 1,000-year-old ancient tree and thought, "Shai Meng Yi, I have arranged for some disciples to eliminate your precious disciple Xiao Zhan after entering the demonic wasteland. Don't blame me for being too cruel. It's his own bad luck to become your disciple." While thinking, Liu Xiu saw a flying boat passing by. Standing behind the flying boat was Jian Lang Yun, direct disciple of Tian Qiong Peak, speaking up. "Xiao Yi Feng, see your brother. The two of you are supposed to be brothers. Doing this must be fine. Not afraid that after Xiao Zhan's death, Peak Master Yun Xie will be angry, right? Xiao Zhan is currently the monstrous genius of your peak and a pre-selection candidate for the Holy Sun." Standing in front of the main flying boat is Xiao Yi Feng, second disciple of Shai Meng Yi. Hearing Jian Lang Yun's words, Xiao Yi Feng smiled and replied, "A dead genius is no longer a genius, and dead brothers are the best kind of brothers. Moreover, Xiao Zhan has been causing trouble everywhere recently. Getting rid of him is the right solution." Tianjin Peak Master Liu Xiu heard these words and thought to himself, "It seems that I am not the only one who wants to eliminate Xiao Zhan. Indeed, Shai Meng Yi is not a good person. Her disciples are not good either." On the other side, Xiao Zhan heard the call and turned his head. Seeing your brother Xiao Zhan, Tao Yao leaned towards Chu Xiao Nai in surprise. "What, Xiao Ni junior sister? Why are you here?" Chu Xiao Nai calmly replied, "Of course, I am here to see off brother Xiao Zhan." Xiao Zhan asked, "I wonder what Chu's sister is looking for me for." The system teased Keek, such a flirtatious host, planning to become a king with many concubines. Tao Yao handed Overlord Dragonblade to Xiao Zhan, saying, "This is the Overlord Dragonblade sword. I found it by chance and wanted to give it to you, hoping it can help you." Xiao Zhan wielded the Overlord Dragonblade, creating a strong wind that blew down the surrounding trees and grass. Xiao Zhan was very pleased, saying, "Thank you, junior sister." Tao Yao smiled. "Senior brother, be extremely careful when entering the demonic wasteland this time. The dungeon opens only once every few decades, filled with a large number of wild and dangerous creatures. Don't be too reckless." I have a beautiful face, both of my cheeks blushing slightly as I said, "So junior sister can rest assured." Xiao Zhan smiled and said, "Thank you for your concern. I will be careful." Xiao Zhan then turned to ask Chu Xiao Nai, "I wonder if junior sister Xiao Nai is looking for me for something." Chu Xiao Nai replied, "I need your help to find some formation documents in the bureau. We may need them." Xiao Zhan smiled and replied, "Junior sister Xiao Nai is really considerate." Chu Xiao Zhan looked at Xiao Zhan and said with a smile, "Thank you. Emperor Silver Sand, my mother has woken up. When you return, can you visit my mother for tea? She wants to thank you in person. Please wait for me to come back. I will bring gifts to visit my mother." Upon hearing these words, Tao Yao, standing nearby, pouted angrily. But at that moment, the transmission array opened and Tai Suzi announced loudly, "The transmission array is open. Those qualified to enter the bureau, please enter the transmission array quickly." Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan immediately clasped his hands and said, "Junior sisters, I will go ahead." Standing watching Xiao Zhan's figure entering the sub-bureau, Tao Yao angrily stomped her foot and spoke up. "See, your brother is really annoying. Why rush in like that? People haven't finished talking yet." Chu Xiao Zhan smiled and continued, "There's something senior brother Xiao Zhan needs in the sub-bureau, so he naturally rushed in." Tao Yao immediately frowned, gritting her teeth, her eyes not hiding any hint of anger. "Chu Xiao Zhan, you're a bit too close to my senior brother. Don't pretend. You know him very well." Chu Xiao Zhan raised an eyebrow slightly. "Tao Yao's sister, what do you mean? Senior brother Xiao Zhan and I are just friends. Nothing like what you think. Why should I stay away from him?" Chu Xiao Zhan walked closer to Tao Yao and gave a faint, beautiful smile before speaking. "Sister doesn't need to be so quick to anger. Getting angry easily will cause wrinkles." Tao Yao frowned and said, "Am I quick to anger? Yes, you're showing signs of jealousy, so it's no wonder senior brother Xiao Zhan ran so fast." Tao Yao's eyes narrowed, immediately releasing spirit force. She growled, "Chu Xiao Zhan, are you intentionally provoking me?" Inside the demonic wasteland, a few hundred meters from the teleportation array in the dungeon, is a primitive dense forest with ancient trees reaching up to the sky intertwined in order, the roots of the trees so big that several people cannot hug them. Groups of displaced factions forming lines deep into the forest. Some displaced couldn't help but exclaim, "Wow, the demonic wasteland is so vast. My master said the diameter of the demonic wasteland is about 10 million miles, equal to 1/20th of the size of a large and small southern city. So big. Such a large area, many opportunities. Anyone want to team up? Let's form a team to explore treasures." On this side, Xiao Zhan was stroking his chin thinking, or find Yi Fan first. Going with him might be able to borrow some of his protagonist halo. Probably will get more gains. While Xiao Zhan was lost in thought, suddenly someone pointed and shouted loud, "I see Xiao Zhan over there." Everyone go up. Hiding behind a big tree, Xiao Zhan gritted his teeth and thought to himself, "What's going on? Have I offended someone? I haven't done anything wrong to anyone." Seeing Chu the Demonic's reaction at this moment, the system immediately appeared and taunted. You have no courage at all." More than 100 displaced at the Divine Bridge Realm rushed towards him with mighty weapons. Xiao Zhan only knew how to run on 4 legs. "I can't fight back like this. In the 36 stratagems, fleeing is the best." Finishing his words, Xiao Zhan waved his hand and a black flying boat appeared. The young man immediately jumped on the flying boat and transformed into a red and black shadow soaring into the sky. The displacers saw the flying boat flying away and only a faint red air lingering. A person pointed and exclaimed, "He's escaped." The bald man sneered, "Don't worry." Before he left, senior brother Jian Lang Yun gave me a spirit force tracking compass. I've locked on his spirit force, so he won't be able to escape no matter where he goes. 7 days later, deep in the demonic wasteland, on a tall mountain with no grass and only steep cliffs, a purple fruit resembling a fetus lay on a dried bush, exuding dark and sinister aura. This was the infant demon soul fruit, guarded by a giant python desolate with black and tough scales. Its defense was extremely strong, and its internal strength approached the level of Beast Demon Emperor. Its cultivation was at the 9th layer of the Divine Bridge Realm, a realm higher than Xiao Zhan's 9th layer, Lun High Boundary. Xiao Zhan had been fighting with it for hours, causing serious wounds with blood staining the ground red. The giant python, its mouth full of sharp teeth, continued to lunge at Xiao Zhan. The young man immediately used his secret martial arts technique that was both fast and sinister, quickly avoiding the attack of the giant python. Xiao Zhan then used his secret martial arts to appear above the head of the giant python. With both hands gripping the overlord dragon blade, his whole body exuded a bloody aura. Xiao Zhan then used all his strength to strike down, causing the head of the giant python to fall off its body, spraying black blood everywhere. The serpent fell from the air to the ground, his body slowly burning and evaporating, eventually converging into a black mystical lotus floating in front of Xiao Zhan. The system notification popped up. "Host, do you want to exchange it for a breakthrough?" Holding the mystical lotus in his hand, Xiao Zhan decisively replied, "Exchange." The system displayed exchange successful, receiving 70,000 breakthrough points. Xiao Zhan sat meditating on a rock not far from a desolate giant python. The young man took a deep breath. Finally, I have reached 500,000 breakthrough points. The system then displayed a message. Please choose the breakthrough below. Heaven-killing sword, intent way scripture, sword technique. All things cease, sword technique. Sing character, sword technique. Volume of the alchemy scripture. Without hesitation, Xiao Zhan immediately chose the Sing character secret, a very high-quality Sing character secret with a huge breakthrough difficulty, completing a small cycle in 3 years, requiring 500,000 breakthrough points for each small cycle. Will the breakthrough you choose be successful in 3 years to realize the 9 levels of Sing character secret? Because of respected master's special physique, your cultivation talent is highly valued. Your perception of Sing character secret is enhanced. The Sing character secret door of the initial progress is open. Feeling the breakthrough of Sing character secret for 3 years like a flood bursting into the mind, the strong shock made Xiao Zhan frown slightly. The young man got up, dusted off, and looked at the infant demon soul fruit on the distant mountain with a loud voice. The breakthrough of Sing character secret is successful. It's time to go pick the infant demon soul fruit. Finishing his words, Xiao Zhan immediately activated the Sing character secret, and he now appeared in front of the infant demon soul fruit. But as soon as he saw the fruit, Xiao Zhan exclaimed in surprise, "Oh, look at the color of the demon fruit. It's not ripe yet." Xiao Zhan put his hand on his forehead and sighed. "So unlucky." The system mocked teasingly. "Host, your luck is really low. The infant demon soul fruit is not ripe yet. So funny, host. It was difficult enough to fight with the giant python Desolate. I never expected the infant demon soul fruit to still be unripe. How pitiful." Coming up with an idea, Chu the Demonic smirked. "If it's not ripe, then I must find a way to make it right." Hearing this, the system was amazed. "Are you planning to? You are indeed formidable. Head. No wonder you are Chu the Demonic." A few moments later, while Xiao Zhan was leisurely collecting spiritual herbs, a familiar voice sounded behind him. "Oh, brother Xiao Zhan, you are here too." Xiao Zhan immediately turned around to see 5 people approaching, 4 men and 1 woman, all from the Divine Bridge Realm intersect. Leading them was Chen Mufan, who had reached the 8th layer of Divine Bridge Realm, carrying a massive black sword on his back. Chen Mufan looked at Xiao Zhan with a smile and said, "Senior brother Xiao Zhan, are you alone here?" Xiao Zhan cautiously took a step back and asked, "Are you here to hunt me down too?" Chen Mufan silently transmitted the sound to his teammates. "Block the intention to kill. Don't let him find out. This guy is fast. If he tries to escape, we won't be able to stop him. Stay calm and wait for others to come and surround him." The remaining people responded through sound transmission. "Yes, Captain Chen understood, Captain Chen." Chen Mufan looked surprised at Xiao Zhan and said, "Xiao Zhan, what do you mean? Killing a fellow disciple like this is a serious crime. There must be a misunderstanding." A beautiful female general stepped forward anxiously and said, "Xiao Zhan, is there someone trying to assassinate you? Who dares to be so bold, daring to hunt down true disciples?" The female displacer stepped forward, her face gentle, and said, "Let us know, maybe we can help." Xiao Zhan listened with a bit of discouragement and alertness on his face, but still sighed and said, "I don't know exactly who, but there are many people trying to kill me." The female displacer took Xiao Zhan's hand and said, "If Xiao Zhan doesn't join our team, who will still help you when you're in danger?" A chubby young man quickly responded, "That's right, we're all in this together. No one dares to harm you." Chen Mufan nodded beside him, and everyone pledged to help Xiao Zhan. Looking at the people in front of him, Xiao Zhan smiled and thought to himself, "Very well, we are all experts." Of course, Xiao Zhan also stared at the 2 round and juicy melons in front of him, secretly thinking, to be honest, this junior sister is quite attractive. The woman's cold smile then transmitted sound. "Everyone, don't panic. This guy is just a lecherous but good-hearted person." The man with long hair smirked and transmitted sound. "He is still worried about our safety. It's funny, he probably doesn't even know that we are the ones hunting him." Chen Mufan chuckled. "Can't blame him. We do act too realistic." Chen Mufan cleared his throat and broke the sound transmission towards Xiao Zhan. "Brother Xiao Zhan is a genius who will break ancient limits. He will be the cornerstone of our Tai Su Holy Land in the future. We might all die, but you must stay safe. Otherwise, the losses to the Holy Land would be too great." The woman continued, "Senior brother Xiao Zhan, let us stay and help you." Others also sincerely expressed their willingness. Chu the Demonic also appeared deeply moved, taking a step forward and said, "Such righteousness, I feel ashamed, not sure how to respond." Chen Mufan and the other 4 looked at each other, a hint of mockery in their eyes before disappearing. Xiao Zhan gritted his teeth as if making a momentous decision. In that case, I agree. Hearing that, the girl ran up and hugged Xiao Zhan, burying her face in his shoulder. Brother Xiao Zhan, there's no need for that. Our holy land is as close as family. At this moment, her two plump grapefruits also pressed against Xiao Zhan's arm, and shortly after, Xiao Zhan invited the group to his barbecue pit. Everyone come over here. This is the roasted lamb that Xiao Ni Jr.'s sister specially prepared for me before going on a mission. I'm feeling sad and can't finish it alone. Luckily, I met you all here just in time to take it out of the bag of holding. The whole group looked surprised and exclaimed, "What?" Xiao Zhan smiled, pouring wine and speaking. "Meeting each other is fate. Feel free to eat and drink." Chen Nufan smiled and replied, "Senior brother Xiao Zhan, you don't need to entertain us like this." End of words. Chu the Demonic drank the wine in one gulp. The girl with purple hair thought to herself, "It seems that there is no poison in the wine." Seeing the other party eating and drinking without any problems, Chen Mufan also raised his wine glass and took a sip. His eyes immediately lit up in praise. Delicious wine. Xiao Zhan chuckled mischievously. Of course, this is the fine wine I took from the wine cellar of the respected master. Eating with roasted goat legs and drinking wine with meat is what makes a man. Chen Nufan and his companions felt at ease drinking the wine with no issues, and with Xiao Zhan's constant invitations and precautions to avoid suspicion, they also began to join in. "Brother Xiao Zhan, this meat is not bad." Xiao Zhan smiled and said, "Yes, if it's good, eat more. If it's not enough, I still have more." And so, the group of 6 raised their glasses, emptied them, and engaged in lively conversation until only white bones remained on the dying fire. Xiao Zhan chuckled softly and said, "Everyone." The 5 people turned their eyes towards Xiao Zhan, asking, "What is it, Brother Xiao Zhan?" With a fierce gaze, Xiao Zhan said, "Xiao Yi Feng and Jian Lang Yun have given you so many benefits that you are willing to resort to killing me." The crowd was startled by this sentence. Chen Mufan's eyes narrowed slightly. Holding the hammer nearby, coldly said, "When did you find out?" Xiao Zhan replied coldly, "Of course, it was when you guys appeared." Chen Nufan wielded the hammer and rushed towards Xiao Zhan in an instant. Xiao Zhan used the Sing character secret, disappeared in an instant, and a black hammer fell from above, shattering the ground into pieces, forming a deep hole. Xiao Zhan stepped back, using the Sing character secret, his eyes coldly looking at the crowd. "You might as well take a look inside your own Purple Mansion Divine Bridge." The crowd, hearing this, changed their faces drastically and quickly checked their own bodies. Indeed, their chests were surrounded by some kind of black smoke. A woman screamed in fear. "There's poison in the wine." Xiao Zhan smirked. "My poison doesn't include any wine." The system at that moment appeared with glee. "Ha ha, I'm laughing to death. My poison is absolutely authentic and will never be mixed with wine." In fact, what Xiao Zhan gave to Chen Mufan and the others to drink was the corpse eater poison, personally coordinated by Chu the Demonic, with a taste very similar to fine wine. Xiao Zhan chuckled slyly. "Do you want to continue living well? I can give you a chance. You have been poisoned by me. In half an hour, if you don't have an antidote, your body will automatically turn into blood water. Then you will experience the sensation of thousands of ants biting your body, extremely agonizing." Chen Mufan and his companions' faces quickly changed, and they spoke out. "Xiao Zhan, what do you want us to do? How can we be spared?" Xiao Zhan immediately tossed a piece of paper in front of the cold-faced woman and said, "Follow the instructions on this. There are 10 antidote pills in a vial, which can keep you safe for 3 days. After completing the task, I will antidote you." The woman with a skeptical frown asked, "How do we know that you will antidote us after the task is done, Xiao Zhan?" Xiao Zhan, with a serious expression, raised 3 fingers to the sky and solemnly said, "I swear by the name of my respected master, if I lie, let my respected master curse me, and my cultivation will not progress." At that moment, in the grand hall of Yumxia Peak, Shai Meng Yi was peacefully eating an apple when she suddenly sneezed several times. She angrily muttered to herself, "Who is speaking ill of me?" Chen Mufan and the others saw Xiao Zhan swearing so confidently, they believed him. The purple-haired woman stepped forward and said to Xiao Zhan, "We'll do it. Hope you keep your word." Xiao Zhan smiled gently. "I've Xiao Zhan, spit and nail. We'll be waiting for good news from you 5. With that, Xiao Zhan immediately activated his Sing character secret and disappeared on the spot. As Xiao Zhan left, within half an hour, flying boats quickly gathered in the dense forest, figures jumping down from each boat to form a group. A purple-clad male cultivator named Yan Xiao, a direct disciple of Tian Qiong Peak at the peak of the 9 layers of divine bridge realm, stepped forward, furrowing his brows. "Chen Mufan, what happened? How could you let Xiao Zhan escape?" Yam Xiao's gaze was hostile, making Shen Mu Fan and his 4 teammates feel a strong urge to draw their weapons and attack. The intense killing intent made their faces pale. Shen Mu Fan quickly clasped his hands and bowed. Senior brother Yam Xiao, please forgive us. Just an hour ago, we encountered Xiao Zhan here. He was extremely cautious and ran away at an incredible speed. We couldn't catch up to him. Yam Xiao discontentedly asked again, so why did you call us here? Jed Mu Fan's face became serious. He took out a leather book from his chest and said, Xiao Zhan dropped this item while fleeing. Yam Xiao looked curiously. What is this? The people around looked with curiosity. Jed Mu Fan opened the leather book, marked with a drawing of a mountaintop, and said, this contains information about the location where the rare soul infant demon fruit grows in the world. That demon fruit grows at the peak of this mountain, the spiritual essence of the immoral item. The demon fruit is actually here. Immediately, Yam Xiao questioned eagerly, Chen Mu Fan, if you obtained this, why didn't you go and pick the infant demon soul fruit yourself? I don't believe you have such good intentions. What are you really up to? Chen Mu Fan expressed unwillingly, the environment for the growth of the soul transformation demon fruit is extremely dangerous if all 5 of us go. It would be like going to our deaths. We need your help. If you obtain the demon fruit, it would be great if you could give each of us 5 a share of the achievement. Immediately, Chen Mu Fan handed the beast skin book to Yam Xiao. Taking the map in hand, Yam Xiao said, I got this map from Xiao Zhan. If he is faster than us, it's not good. I will lead people to pick immediately. Later, Yam Xiao secretly thought, this Chen Mu Fan youth is still so naive, wanting us to put in effort, but also wanting to exchange 1/10, drinking too much. A person in the crowd immediately spoke up. Let's go now, or else Xiao Zhan will take everything. Others hurriedly chimed in. Indeed, they don't really care if Xiao Zhan can climb that mountain alone. He's just a level 2 boundary. How could he manage? The main issue is their numbers are still lacking, so 1 less person will make the share even. That's why they are in such a hurry. Yam Xiao naturally understood the reasoning behind it. After thinking for a moment, he nodded and said, all right, let's depart. An excited group boarded the flying boat and followed the map's directions towards the mountain. Chen Mu Fan and 5 others looked at each other and boarded the flying boat to follow. Xiao Zhan hid from a nearby secret location, a smile on his face. They have arrived, and the crowd is quite substantial. Indeed, when it comes to money, people will move. Chu The Demonic also followed quietly. Several moments later, Nian Tiu and a group of 231 people arrived at Yin Mo Shan. Looking at the mountain range covered in mist and surrounded by dark black aura, the faces of the crowd turned serious. Fortunately, their large numbers boosted their courage, and without much observation, they began to climb the mountain. The leader, Yam Xiao, loudly instructed, this gray mist can obstruct divine thoughts, so everyone should not scatter too far. The girl in the group reassured, don't worry, senior brother, we should hurry up. Yam Xiao led a group of people quickly to the top of the mountain where they immediately saw the scenery outside. There was a strange plant growing on a black boulder resembling a spirit herb roughly 2 meters tall with stems and branches pale and bone-like, very eerie. Hanging above was a bizarre fruit, purple-red in color resembling a human infant, small enough to fit in one's palm, occasionally emitting a chilling laughter that sent shivers down one's spine. Instead of feeling afraid, the group's eyes lit up with excitement and awe. Infant demon soul fruit, truly the infant demon soul fruit. One person laughed with joy. Ha ha ha, this is great. Eating this fruit can immediately take us to the godly power realm. Another exclaimed, we're going to be rich. If we sell it, we could fetch tens of thousands of divine stones. This time, getting rich is easy. We're about to hit the jackpot. Someone immediately couldn't hold back and wanted to rush forward. Yam Xiao also stepped up but hurriedly raised his hand to stop them. Everyone, hold on a moment. The color of this demon fruit is not right. It seems it hasn't fully ripened yet. I have seen illustrations of mature and infant demon fruits in ancient texts. The mature demon fruit appears blood red and emits a sacred aura. If we consume an immature demon fruit, it will be overwhelmed by yin energy and lead to death.